Welcome to the book of Shmuel, Aleph, chapter 3, Perek Gimel. Have you ever been in your house and been like, I think someone is calling my name, but then you're not sure, you go to the other room and someone's not calling you, or someone is calling you? Well, that's what this Perek is about. Shmuel is sitting, remember, he sleeps in the Mishkan. There's a place for the Levim to sleep. He doesn't sleep in the same area as Eli HaKohen HaGadol, but he's laying down there in the area of the Levim. Remember, Shmuel is actually not a Kohen. He's from the tribe of Levi, and so he's not sleeping in the same place as Eli. And suddenly Shmuel hears a voice. He hears a voice speaking to him, and it suddenly says, Shmuel. And so Shmuel doesn't know that it may be Hashem speaking. He gets up, he runs to where Eli is sleeping, and he says, have you called me? And Eli's like, no, I didn't call you. Why don't you go back to sleep? And Shmuel once again goes back to sleep, lays in bed, and suddenly hears a voice. And he says, Shmuel. And he runs to Eli, and he's like, did you call me? No, I didn't call you. And so for the third time, Shmuel goes back to sleep, and he then gets called once again. Shmuel. He goes to Eli, and Eli by now understands something is going on. After 3 times that someone called the name of Shmuel, Eli says, look, next time this happens and you're laying in bed and you hear a voice saying Shmuel, why don't you just say Hineni, here I am, like Avram Avinu did, and then you're going to wait to hear the message. So Eli goes to lay down, Shmuel goes to lay down, and suddenly Shmuel hears Shmuel, and he says, Hineni, here I am. And that's when God starts speaking to Shmuel. He says, I'm about to do something so horrible that if a person hears this, their ears are going to roast because it's such horrible news. I will complete the prophecy that I gave to Eli. I told him his family is going to be destroyed, and I swear that their sin is never going to be atoned, even if they bring many, many korbanot. And I am also punishing him, Eli, because he didn't rebuke his children enough. He let them just go wild. He didn't tell them enough. In the morning, Shmuel wakes up and he has a big dilemma. Shmuel wakes up in the morning and has a big dilemma. He says, do I tell Eli that I have had a prophecy that horrific things are about to happen to him and his family because he didn't rebuke his sons, Chofni and Pinchas, for violating the service of Hashem, or does he not? And what do you do, right? Do you tell an old man that God spoke to you last night and said that horrible things will happen to his family, or do you just deny it? And so Eli calls over Shmuel. He remembers that something happened last night. He says, what did God tell you? And Shmuel says, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Here's everything God told me. He tells Eli how Hashem told him that everything is going to be destroyed from the family of Eli. They'll all die young, and Eli's descendants are going to die young. And Eli says, Hashem atov beinav yaseh. Hashem is going to do what's good in his eyes. That is that story. It ends, though, with one more very important pasuk. Vayigdal Shmuel v'Hashem haya imo. Shmuel grows up, and he's very popular. Hashem is with him. Vayeda kol Yisrael midan v'ad Beersheva. Bnei Yisrael from Dan to Beersheva, from north to south, know that Shmuel is God's dedicated servant. So if you want to summarize this chapter, it's really the contrast between Shmuel's wicked sons, Chofni and Pinchas, and Shmuel, the devoted public servant. And that is the story of this Perek, from Hashem telling Eli that his sons are not going to continue after him, to saying that he's going to punish him, to the story of Shmuel sleeping at night and hearing the voice of God 3 times, not knowing who it is, going to Eli asking, what is that? Then staying in bed, saying, Hineni, hearing from God that Hashem is going to do off with the family of Eli. That has been Perek Gimel.